So hey guys, how's it going on? In the previous video, we made this weather forecasting one and the user data storage setup using browser local storage. Right, so in this video, we are going to start the styling part. That is, we are going to create multiple components and we are going to style it. Just like this site, here we have this timer, this charging indicator, this thing styled perfectly fine, this cool Iron Man, and this setup. And here a section where it shows whether we are online or offline, that part. Good. Now let's get started without any further ado. Okay, so I may do some things a bit similar or maybe a bit dissimilar because the values may change for padding and all of this stuff, so just adjust for that, and at the end I will modify it when the video is completely over, and by the next video or when I provide you the source code in the last episode, I will simply just make everything fine and then I will give you the source code. Okay, so no worries about that. But for in this video, the values may be a bit dissimilar or the styling may be a bit dissimilar, I mean different from this. Okay, so let's get started. Now if you don't know, in the glimpse video I didn't show you, there was nothing like this, but later on I added this. Why? Because see, in some browsers the voice recognition was not automatically starting due to their security reasons, but if you click on this button you can see start Friday, a title is coming, and if you click on this the voice recognition will automatically start, and that is it. Fine. So now let's get started without any further ado. Let me make this small to the right side and this thing here, and let's start with index.html. okay, fine. So here I am on my index.html page, and here we are going to start styling. So first of all, let's create the clock container which we have right here. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I will create a div dot clock dot cont. Now I'm adding two names here, one for clock and one may be cont, because I think that I may use this cont for different components to style similarly, so I can just select this one thing and I can style all those divs which are named with this cont, right? So that is the reason I added two classes for my safety further. And here we need an image, and let's get the source of that image. I do have copied the images somewhere, so here you can see the clock icon is here. Let me just copy it, and if I just paste that here, the icon will be with us. Right, now if I save this, you should see the icon, and here it is, not style. That is the reason it is very big. Now let's just style it, and after that we can let's just add all the components, then we can style it with relief. Okay, so now we need something to show the time, so I'm adding a p with an id, I mean paragraph tag with an id of time, in which in this thing we will add our time. Okay, after this we need an internet container. So here also I am doing something similar, div dot internet dot cont or container, and in here we have another image with no alt, so I'm just simply removing this alt tag, and you can add the alt tag, guys, it's your choice. I don't actually want, because this is a tutorial, I just have to teach you, and you can just do that, right? No worries about that. And here we have this internet icon. Let me just copy this and paste it right here in this source. Fine. And here also we have a p hashtag, I mean id internet, and this is what we have. After this, I think we should have the battery container, right? We should have it, which was there in this center. Here we have to style that, right? So we do div dot battery dot cont. Now guys, before continuing, I want to tell you that in this video you are going to learn a lot more stuff. You are going to learn that how you actually can get time running second by second. Then you are going to know that how you can actually get this, how you can use JavaScript to know whether the machine is online or offline, is it connected to internet or not, and you can see your battery percentage and its status, whether it is charging or not. So guys, now you just see that my charging is going off and going on due to some issues. Leave that aside, but you can see this charging is updating as my charging is turning off. You can just see this icon, as it is turning off within 2 or 5 seconds, I guess, it is removing this. But when it is again charging, it is just coming up, right? Now that is something what we are going to do. And this is the battery count, so we need to have an image, battery image, which we have right here. Battery image is this one. So I copied it. Let me just paste that here, and let's remove this alt tag, attribute, and let's have a text p with an id of, let's say, battery. Fine. Now we saved this part, and you see we have these images. Good. Now let's just style these images, but before that I think we should have some more images that we have. So let's add them after the temperature setup, right here. So I want to add something to make my Jarvis look or Friday look better, because here we have this Iron Man, this cool stuff which makes it look a good bit better. So I'm going to add those two images. So img times 2, which give me 2 img tags, and I just don't want this alt text. You can add these on your own, okay? And I hope you know what alt tag does, or if you don't know, no worries, let me explain it. If the image by chance, due to poor connectivity or something, doesn't load up, that alt text will come into picture, okay? Like if I show you an example, let me go to the first one, let me make one G and cause an error, and you should see this, right? We don't have an alt, so this comes. If I have an alt, what actually happens is, this should be good, okay, high text will come there. Now you see high text came, but if there is no error, that high text will not come. Let me save it. You see high text will not come now, and now I'm just removing this high text. Okay, fine. Now let's just add two sources here. One is Iron Man image, that is this one. These are not actually images, they are GIFs, which just keeps on like a video, okay? And here we have this. If you want some other images other than these, you can search in Google for Iron Man GIFs, Iron Man rotating GIFs, like that, and you will get them. And now these images should come, and they are there. So to make these images perfect, that is the reason I made the whole background black, because they are not transparent. So if I made a background of different color, it will be looking a bit ugly. So I made everything black, and it looks pretty awesome in black also, right? Okay, fine. And after this, we need to have the most important part. And what is it? Two divs where we have our messages, the messages which Jarvis gave us and the messages which we are giving Jarvis, the chat system, you can say. And now actually I don't need this button, but if I say I also need them for now for testing purposes, so I'm just simply commenting them, or let them be, because if I remove them, they will cause errors in JavaScript that this particular element is not found. So let them be, we will remove them with peace. And now let me just copy this images link, and let's just add this image somewhere. But before that, let's create this chat section. So I am creating that just in before these buttons, and let me just say div.messages. This is one div. After this, we have to have the other one, that is the commands. What are these commands? The thing which I say, I showed you in that, right? What are your commands, and it is going to give you a list of commands. That part is going to come in here, okay? So it's going to be commands dot in middle. Remember, we are using this class twice, one here and one here. So now this will help us in styling, right? Pretty good. Now we have that image, that start Jarvis button somewhere in between, okay? So let's just add that before this Jarvis setup in middle. So I'll create a div dot, let's say let's give it an ID because it's a single element. So let's say start Jarvis or Friday button, whatever, it doesn't care. I doesn't care. Okay, it's something. Now it is fine. Now let's add that image simply in here with the source it has, and let's remove this alt tag. Fine. Or let me just add an alt tag because this is an important button. So start Jarvis. Okay, let's give this div a title so that if I hover over there, it shows me some stuff, right? So actually here, not there, here. So I will give the links to all these images in the description down below. If you want, you can collect them right from there. Okay, so let me just say title is equal to start Jarvis or Friday. Let me just say Friday. Fine. Now when I hover over it, you see start Friday here. Fine. Good. Now the HTML part is done. Now let's go with CSS, which is very important to make this beautiful. So I think I have already linked CSS, and let's get started now. So first of all, let's open our style sheet. Here we have it. I've already linked it, so no issues. So I need some different text here. Now this is not a default text, you actually need to import it. So for that, let's go to fonts.google.com, and from here you can get different kinds of fonts, guys, pretty good fonts. Okay, so I want Poppins. I search for it, you get this text, click on it, and you can just select different styles from here. I am selecting any random styling from here. Let me make it big. Okay, I selected this one. Let's select this one, this one, this one, this one, and now these texts are gonna apply automatically on depending on the elements and the font width, font size depending on that. If you give the font weight this much, it will come like this, and that is the reason. Okay, this thing's automatically set up, everything comes up into this link, and which is almost perfect. And now I selected some styles, I don't know, I selected anything randomly, and you can actually do two things here. There are two methods to actually add this link to your one. You can copy this link tag and paste it in the HTML here, and the another one is go to the import section and you will get a URL till here, import URL, copy that and paste it in your CSS. That is better, right? So I not usually do it in CSS, so I just copied it. I go to style.css, let me just paste it, and we have imported a file, and you can see at the import URL, it imported some stuff. Now we can get started with our styling, and let's just make this smaller here. Fine, and I saved it. Now let's just do some basic styling for each of the elements. First one is make margin 0 for everything, and then padding also 0 for everything, and not padding inline, and it's actually padding. Okay, so after this we're gonna say box sizing of border box. Now see just what happens when I save it. Now all the unnecessary padding margins are gone, right? Fine. After this we are going to make the color white of for everything, because we are going to make the background black I mean, and let's just make the position fixed for everything, because they are going to be random directions. Guys, right now I am telling you that this website is not going to be responsive, because most of its functions are not going to work on a mobile device, and hence I'm not at all making it for mobile. But if you want, you have responsiveness tutorials on my channel. You can just visit multiple projects, and all my other projects are completely responsive. But I'm not going to make this one because it's just time waste, not usable on mobile, right? So if I just do this, see what happens. Some stuff is being hidden because of this images, because they are like that, because they have a dark background and stuff like that. That is the reason. Now after this we are going to add position fixed, because I'm going to align them like this goes to the top left, this goes to the top center, this goes to the top right, this is going to be the bottom right, this is going to be the bottom left, this one bottom center, this one somewhere in the middle, like that I'm going to style. So that is the reason I'm giving just fixed. If I scroll, do anything, this is not going to be scrolled. Okay, and now here I'm going to give the font family which we just added using fonts.google.com, which is Poppins. Now make sure that this first letter is capital. Okay, not here, actually this one. And after this, don't forget to add some other basic or default fonts, because what if this doesn't load up, what if the user's internet connection is slow, then those particular fonts will load, right? So I'm just adding this because it just comes with multiple options. VS Code gives me that suggestion and I usually add this. And now if I save, it is good. Now we have sans serif at the end, which must be there in a browser. So if any of these fonts doesn't exist, this thing will simply take place. Okay, fine. After this, let's just style each of the buttons. So button color, I'm going to give black, and within this button I'm going to say from top each button should be 50%, and from left each button should be 50%. Just see here. Now these buttons are here. Okay, speak out. Actually we don't need these buttons, so I'm going to comment them out, but as I comment them, they are going to be, now you see if I scroll even, these things are not getting scrolled. I'm not able to scroll at all. So that is the reason I made this fix, because what to do with scrolling here, right? Nothing to do. So that is it. Now these buttons are in the center according to our styling, and then we have this label, that is the styling for the form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide whatever I just added, so that we could style that form part first. Okay, I'm just going to comment them, nothing else than that. And this one also. Fine. If I save it, this is fine. Now you see the buttons in the center. If I refresh once and close the console, because we are doing the styling part. Okay, now we have these buttons. Fine. I think something happened. Okay, yes. Now you may be wondering that why these buttons, the other buttons are not there. Like here we had 3 buttons, right? Yeah, we had 3 buttons, but there is only one. Why so? And you see that the last button is there, the previous 2 buttons are not there. That is because the other 2 buttons are just behind it. Yes, they are just behind it. That CSS magic. Okay, we made the position fixed, right? That is the reason it is happening so. And then let's just do label, and each of the labels are these tags which we added in the form. These are the label tags. And here what we are going to do is just give them a random color. Let's say something slight of black, RGB. Let's give 163, 0, fine. And let's just make them text aligned somewhere, so that they just don't occur anywhere. So I'm just going to say text aligned to the left. This may be changed later on depending on the styling. Let's see. Okay, and after this let's style that input element. First of all, the color whatever we enter should be black, not black, it's black. Okay, after this we have, it should not have any outline. Let me save it, then you will see the stuff. Now actually to do this, to style them, I need what? I actually need to remove local storage, because if I don't remove it, then those elements are not gonna come. And now if I refresh, they are here, right? Position is fixed, that is the reason they are in the left. We will style it, don't worry. Or let me just do this much for now, and now it is good, right? Just one thing to change the complete thing. And now you see the fonts, how cool they are looking, right? I like pop-ins actually. Fine. Now color black, and then if I click on something, you see that dark outline comes up. I don't want that. I'm going to do outline none. Save. And then I'm going to remove the borders also. Now if I click, you see that outline doesn't comes, and I'm gonna say border to be none. And when I do this, now they are not at all visible. Now fine, and I'm going to give a border bottom, so that it gives a feel that yeah, these are here. Okay, So I'm just saying border bottom of 3 pixels solid black. And now you see these elements here. Let's give a width to each of them, width of let's say 60 view width. Okay, fine. Now we have this submit button. Let's just style that hashtag sub btn, and here we have a background color of red. Let's just save it, and we have a red background. Now there's something similar I'm going to do, color white, and then width, some fixed width of 80 pixels, and then I'm going to add what? I'm going to say padding of 10 pixels, and let's say 5 pixels, not ps, it's 5 pixels. Fine. After this I'm going to say the same thing, that is outline none, not this, it's none, and then border of none, because I don't want any border. Still it has a different background color, so that is the reason it will normally be different from its background and other stuff, so we actually don't need a border. And then I'm going to just give a border radius of let's say 10 pixels to give some rounded corners, and it has some rounded corners now. Now guys, it is pretty much good. And now what we can do is we can style that machine part. What is machine? All these elements we have in there. Okay, I'm just going to here, and then we can select dot machine. Okay, in this dot machine I'm simply saying background color to let's say black, and after this I'm going to give it a height of 100 view height. It is gonna cover the complete height, 100 view heights. And then I'm going to give it a width, that is 100 view width. Take the complete width and height, that is what I'm going to say it. And then I'm just saying user select null. User select none. What does this do? You cannot select any text or something now. Here you can select because these are out of that machine, but if you have anything in the machine, you are not going to select. You will not be able to select anything. Let me show with an example. Okay, no worries. Okay, let me add some random text here. Now you see this text, I'm not able to copy it. I'm actually copying it but not able to. But when I remove this stuff, just see what will happen. Now I can copy it, simple. And now I'm just simply removing this and making it normal. Fine. Now this is machine, and what I'm going to do with the elements inside machine, I have right now have commented them, but I'm going to actually use them now after a few minutes. So I'm just saying machine, all elements within machine do what is all make their position absolute. Okay, make their position absolute, and now everything will be absolute in there. These are not in machine, so that is the reason they are different. Okay, position absolute. Now I'm going to select each of the images which are just here. So I'm just going to uncomment each of them, and let's just do this much. Let us save it. Now you see, now these are the images and other stuff. Let's just style them. Just see what happens now. This happens, but when I do, because all these images are inside the machine div, so this happens. Okay, now let's just start. This is the heart, so I think I gave it an ID heart only. It should be at the bottom here. Okay, I didn't give any IDs to these images, that is what I left. So this should have an ID of Iron Man, ID of let's say Iron Man, and the next image should have an ID of let's say heart, so that actually we could style them. That is the only thing. Okay, I'm again going to style, and here I am saying hashtag heart to place them one by one here and there. So this image should be in the bottom what I said, bottom 0 and left 0. Now just see, it goes to the bottom left. And now we are going to style them one by one, don't worry. Bottom left. Then we are going to style the Iron Man image. This should be in bottom 0 but right 0. So it goes here. Fine. And then we are going to style the time part. Let's just give it a color of white because the background is black, and then I'm going to do top of 10 pixels, and then let's just from left it should be somewhere around 10 pixels, right? Somewhere around 10 pixels from the left. Fine. Now in this time we have some other images and stuff which we will be styling in a few minutes, okay? But before that I just want to style this part because it is going like this. So I just want to change that part. I think this is due to this guy. If I save, now everything is good. Okay, fine. After this time what I am going to do is I am going to select that in middle div, okay? Dot in middle, I'm going to say in middle. Okay, now I'm just saying from top be 50% and from left be 50%, not percent 50, it's 50%. Okay, if I see what happens, just see, right now they are not in the center, but we have to make them in center. So what we can do is this is a trick, guys. First make its position absolute or fixed, then make it from top 50%, from left 50%, then add a transform property and translate of minus 50% comma minus 50%. Now they will be in the center. Why not? Why are they not in the center? Okay, I need to check something. Just give me a second. Okay, that is because we gave some width to these input elements and we actually shouldn't give them any width. Okay, let's just comment them out. Where is that input element? For now I am removing it. We will style it accordingly when needed. Okay, fine. Now this is in middle and we have a lot of stuff to style here. So here I am going to add a background color of white, and after that I am going to give it a padding of let's say 50 pixels, and then I'm going to give it a border radius of let's say 10 pixels to make it fine. And okay, fine. And here what I'm going to do is up here after border radius, let's make its display flex, okay, to align them perfectly. And then I'm going to say justify content at the center, take everything to the center, and then flex direction column wise, not row wise. Default is row and we have to convert it into column to make everything fine. Okay, now I want this thing to be on top of everything. Whatever is behind it, just be on top of everything. So I'm just going to give it a z index of 10,000. Okay, and let's give it an align items of center. So now there are some changes need to be done here because there is some part in there. So let's just change each of the stuff with, and now let's just give this guy a bit of width. Let's say 80 view width, and then I'm going to give it an height of 70 view heights, and it is scrollable, so I'm giving it overflow. If the window height is small, then I'm just giving it a overflow y of scroll, and I will hide rest of the stuff. Is there anything now? I actually need to see this stuff. Okay, I think something happened right here after adding these stuff. Okay, it is as so. Okay, I think, okay, we have to style some other stuffs also to actually make this perfectly fine. Okay, this much is good. Now we need to style some other stuff also. What I'm going to do is dot in middle the same div. I'm going to style the scroll bar actually. So we have something called webkit scroll bar, webkit not underscore, there should be a dash scroll bar, and within the scroll bar I'm just simply saying display block, don't show it. Okay, and then I'm going to say that track should be visible but the scroll bar should not be visible. Okay, I'm copying this, it is going to be something similar, copying this, and here after scroll back I'm going to say track, and here in track I'm going to say let's give it a border radius to the track of 10 pixels. I'm going to say fine, and after this we are going to have the thumb, the scroll bar thumb, the one which we uses to scroll, that is the scroll bar thumb, and this should have a background of red, not red, background of red. Let's just make it color, and after this I'm going to say border radius of 10 pixels again. Fine, now this thing looks fine, right? This div looks fine. Now guys, for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this for a few minutes. I see there is something hidden, but we will style it in a few minutes, do not worry about that. I just commented this in middle, but still we have that white part. Okay, so I get it, this in middle is covering the previous in middle, so I'm just commenting out this one. There is no issues with this guy, the main issues were with that guys. Okay, now you see the elements, that is why I was tense that what happened. This is the error, I think not an error, but this thing was covering that guy because both have the same class. Okay, now you get it, I also get it now. Okay, now let's just style those icons, right? So let me just enter some random information of null to just hide it. Fine, now let's just style these icons guys, but to style them at once I need to give them a class. So let's just give them a class of icon. So I'm just saying class equal to icon. Okay, now I'm going to copy this stuff from here. Okay, I copied that, I'm going to paste that here one and then here one. Any other icons or stuff? No more icons, these are the 3 icons we are going to have. Fine, now let's just style them up. Dot icon, and I'm just going to give it a height of 50 pixels, each one a height of 50 pixels, and then each one a width of 50 pixels. And then what I'm going to do is let's just give it an object fit cover, however you are just cover according to that size. Okay, let's give them a padding of 3 pixels, and here I'm going to say let's just give them a background color of white, so that they should have something kind of a border, so that they are looking perfectly fine to us. And then just give them a border radius, so that that border also is curved. Okay, border radius 50%, it is circular. And now these icons should be somewhere hidden in behind this or something. So let's try hiding this guy. Okay, you see these icons on the left side, their position is fixed, so we need to style each one of them one by one to make them actually visible. But before that I want to select style some different stuff, the cont one. So let me just find that cont div, where do I have? Okay, so we have these divs, right, each one of divs, so we are going to style them one by one. Fine, so now let's just select them. Dot cont, in this I'm going to say for each of the element in the cont, for each of the element in there, make their position absolute. Okay, now they are absolute. After this, I'm going to say dot cont, the dot cont container. I'm going to add something like from top, each one should be 10 pixels, and their display should be flex, like row wise, because we want them to align like this, right, with the pure clean text, and beside that we should have the icon like that, and align items at the center. And then we are going to have the justify content as space around. Fine. Now let's just select each one of them. So I'm just going to select the battery one first of all, the battery one, and within this battery one, what I'm going to do is left 50%, be at the center, that is the reason left 50%. Its width, I'm fixing it to be 100 pixels, and then let's just do transform translate x of minus 50%. We did the same stuff just before a few minutes. Now you see the battery icon is in center. Cool, right? Fine. Now what I am going to do is, after this, let's just select that clock one. Clock one should be on the where it is, but we have to give it some width. So I'm just selecting dot clock and just simply giving it some width so that we could add that text there. It should be 150 pixels because there should be a width to actually add this text right here. Okay, and what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to select this internet symbol. So dot internet, and here I'm going to say top of 100 pixels, and then from left be 5 pixels. Okay, and then I'm going to give them a width of 120 pixels maybe. This should be fine, and yep, I guess. Okay guys, now we need to select each of the elements within the in middle section, where I think I just commented it out. Okay, I just hided these elements, right? So we have to style them much more, so I need to do some changes there. But before that, let's just select this stuff, that is this temperature stuff, to style them. Okay, so guys, I think I missed one thing. I forgot to add comments here, but if you are okay with this, or then it's okay. But if you have any issues with my styling, like I forgot to add the comments here about styling, that what is the styling for which part, if you want them, just let me know in the comments below, I will add them. But if you are okay with this, then no problems. Without comments, if you are okay, then no problem, let it be. Because at the end, I'm going to give this code only to you, not any pre-coded one. This code I will give you at the end, so that is the reason I'm just asking you. Okay, fine, just let me know in the comments. That is it, nothing else than that. Then we have dot internet, but before this I'm going to select the temp, which I talked about, the temperature div. Okay, from top be 10 pixels, and then from right be 10 pixels, and after that you be text aligned to the right, everything should be aligned to the right, and then font size to be smaller, not small, it should be smaller, small than the smallest, small, yes, small than the small. Okay, fine. And now I'm going to select the stamp again, and on all the elements within the stamp, and I'm going to say position be static. I mean, position static is the default value. What is the default value of position in CSS? If someone asks, just simply say static. Fine. And here now we are going to select the, now this is it, I guess, for the temperature part. Now we just need to actually get other job done. Okay, and when we get the other job done, we are good to go. Now we doesn't have a lot of work to do. We just need to style what, guys? We just need to style our messages part, right? The messages part, and that is it. The messages part, and I think the new button which I gave here, this button, yeah, that would be the job we have to do now. So let's get started with the messages part. Okay, I'm just styling them. Nothing JavaScript is done, so I'm just simply styling them, because if I do each of the element one by one, first HTML, then CSS, then JavaScript, then time is gonna be a lot of time is gonna take. So I'm just completing the complete CSS at once, then I will go to JavaScript, because CSS doesn't cause any errors, right? So that is the reason. Now I'm going to say messages from bottom B0, from bottom B0, from left be 50%, from transform be a transform translate of -50%. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, this guy is fine. In middle. Okay, this is fine. Translate -50%, comma 0, because nothing to translate in the y direction, so I am just saving it like this. Then I'm going to give a maximum height to it, maximum height of 600 pixels, and then I'm just saying overflow auto. If you want to scroll, just scroll, and then I'm going to give it a display flex, because we have to align them like a chat system, right? Like this, one after the other. So we need to do some different kind of styling for that, which also may have been done similarly in WhatsApp, Facebook stuff, but I actually don't know, because I need to read their code for that. Flex direction, column, fine. After this, align items at the center, to actually make them look just like this, at the center. Okay, now they are column wise, one after the other. Now you may be thinking that one is this side, one is this side. That is done with two different elements. Now these blue text is from one class and this red text is from another class, so that is the reason this is, we will give this left align, we will give this right align. That is it, nothing hard in here. Okay, so we did align item center. Then we just need to say justify content as flex end, to start from the down. Oh sorry, I made it flex start. And after this I'm going to give it a padding bottom, from bottom have some space, that is it, of let's say 15 pixels. Okay, then let's just give it a z index, because this should also be top of some other thing, just 1000. That the previous thing we gave 10,000, but now I'm giving it 1000. Now we are just hiding the scroll bar from the messages. If there is some scroll bar, just simply hide it. I'm just saying dot messages webkit scroll bar display none. Now previously we did something for scroll bar, right? Okay, that is fine. I thought that I just gave it a single semicolon, but we have to give it double. So right now I checked it and it is double there, also fine. That part is fine. Now that is what. Now here we need to have two divs. Within this commands in middle, within this messages, we are going to have something called user message and something called J message, which is Jarvis message. Okay, so I'm just selecting dot user message. Those will be directly added from JavaScript, so don't worry. Dot user message, and here I'm going to add text align of right, and then I'm going to add width of 300 pixels, and then I'm going to give it a color RGB of let's say 113, 113. This should be something slightly bluish. You see this color, that is this color only. After this you can do 235. So this should be the same color, I guess. So let's check with the yeah, it is some blue. I am not sure if this is the same color, but I usually use this color, so it may be the same one. I don't remember that. Okay, that is fine. Now we need to style the dot j message on the which is left. Okay, and it should have text aligned to the left, and then we have its margin top of 5 pixels, and then we have its width of 300 pixels, and then we have it a different color. It is some red color, so let's just select it. Let's just say something around 240. Let's just select this, then I will just simply change this color to some random color. It should be some light red, right? So that is when it will be visible to us. So let me just select this. Let me just modify them slightly, so that let's make this something around 250. So let's just make it 245. This 65 one, let's make it 61, and this one also 61, because both are something similar only, so I'm just making them same. Okay, now this part is done. Now we actually need to style that command part. Now initially this dot commands, is this the spelling of commands? Yeah, actually the command should be initially of display none. It should not be visible. When I say show me the commands, then it should show me the command. So I'm just saying background color of white now to it. And for each of the commands within there, what I am going to do is color, give the color of RGB 197 comma 0 comma 0, something around black. Is it black? No, it is actually dark red. Funny. What is funny in there? I don't know. I just got the word and I just spoke it out. Fine. So let's just do hashtag start Jarvis button, that starting button. Start Jarvis button, that is good. Now let's give it a border of none, because it's a button, so we need to do some size for it. Outline of none, and then position of fixed, and then from left 100 pixels, and then transform, translate x 0. Do not transform anything. Fine. And then what we are going to do is from top be 300 pixels, and from actually its display should be flex, so simply flex, and then let's just make it justify content to the center, and I'm just saying align items to the center, and then I'm just simply saying giving a z index just less than the toppest one, that is 10,000. So I'm just making it 4 nines, and now we just need to select the image within this ID, and a shocking news you will listen after this. A shocking news. Let me just complete this and then I will tell you. So I'm done with this. Now ready to listen that shocking news. We have completed the styling. Now isn't that funny? We have completed the styling, guys. Yeah, really. So what I'm going to do now is keep this open, and you see this button here. And now we need to do some other stylings also to this to actually make it somewhere there. So let's just do one thing here. Let's go here. From left it is 100 pixels, so I'm going to give it 105. Now what if I save it now? Okay, 105 is very less, I guess. Okay, now it looks something similar to this, I guess. Yeah, actually. Yeah, now it is actually a bit similar to this one. I previously said you that it is not going to be exactly same. Yeah, that is the reason. And now if I'm going to click on inspect, go to console, local storage dot clear, and now if I refresh this guy, you see this element now. Right now there should be some issues with this in here, but I don't see anything. Now we just need to style it via Jarvis setup or something, I guess. Let us see what we can do about that. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, let me see what we can do about this. Is we have this in middle element, we have the color of the label to be black. Okay, let me just launch this once. Change my information.
Opening the information tab, sir.
Shut down.
Okay, sir, I will take a nap.
So this is how this actually should look, and I have to think about it. So first of all, let me do this, and the label should have a kind of dark red or some color like this, but the label is not at all visible here. I have to inspect it and then check. So let's try debugging HTML code. Oops, let's see, we have this label. Okay, the label is just above it. So this is because it should be just above it only, but I think I am missing some stuff here, some actual stuff. I don't know why these errors are coming, but they shouldn't come causing to me. But let's just style it. Label should have a color of black, but it is not giving me any color. I don't know why. The label is right there, it has a different color, but it is not coming up. Okay, did you see that color? It's not at all coming, right? I think it is hidden behind this, maybe. So I am going to do what is going to this in middle stuff and selecting each of the elements within this in middle. Actually, CSS is hard to do if we got any errors. I mean, if we didn't got something what we wanted, then it is headache in CSS. You may also have faced that some or the other time. If not, you will definitely face it. But if yes, I am to facing it a lot. In middle, it should be like all the elements should be positioning statically. Oh yes. Oh, actually yes. It made a lot of changes to this. And here if I go to Jarvis setup in middle, what I'm going to do is this. I think I missed something in here, guys. Let me just have a closer look on this. We have top of 50%, left of 50%. Okay, transform translate, this is also fine. We have a background color, a padding, and then a border radius, then a display flex, and then a justify content of center, right? Okay, and then flex direction of column, and then an align items of the center. So guys, just give me a second, I will just take a look because it's time waste for you. So I'm just give me a few minutes, I will pause the recording and then I will again play it so that you can enjoy it without wasting any time. So guys, I did made some changes, let me show that to you, but it became something like this, and I need to do some different stuff also. So but first of all, let me explain you what I did. I just commented out these three things, and these three things were just causing this, not this one, the above two guys were causing an error. Let's see what it is. So just fixing a word is just deforming this form which we created, so that is the reason we just don't need a special kind of width and height for them. If needed, you can add and just face the styling issues. And but if you have any doubts, just let me know. If you want to make it a bit different, it's okay. But I want to share an experience which I got when I was actually styling this guy, this original guy. What actually happened is, this was not like this. These things were at the left and somehow they just came to the center. I don't know how, but they came after I uploaded, I hosted this site. Right after that is just made everything a bit different. So fine. Now I'm going to the input tag, or a label tag you can say. I'm giving it a margin top of 5 pixels, and now it is a bit different. Okay, fine, margin top only, right? Yeah, instead of 5 pixels I would like to make it 10. I think this is not at all changing. Yeah, it is not at all changing. Let's try it the same thing with the input element. 50 pixels for testing, and yeah, it is working fine. So we can play with the input here, and now it looks pretty good. Yes. And now this is the form we created, and there are some more issues to be fixed, which we will fix in the next episode maybe. Yeah. So I'm just entering some random data for location. I'm adding London, and Instagram profile null, submit. And you see this weather information on the right, so that part is good. Now some styling has to be done for these icons also. Rest everything is done good, and just 3 of these icons need to be a bit differently formed, or maybe they will be okay when I add some data there. Let's just test it out. Hello, save it, we get hello. Okay, this is not how I wanted it to be. It has to be something differently. So let's just go to CSS back again, and let's just see what we can do about it. So I need to go to that icon icon. Okay, is this an icon or count? Okay, position absolute, count, display flex, align items center. Okay, some issues with this count. It is not actually as I wanted it to be. Okay, I need to just give me a second guys, let me think what I have done mistake in here. Nothing. Can't find an image in this. I don't know, I think I should do this once. That sometimes happen, it doesn't, it is not perfectly able to, but no, that is not the case. Everything is fine, some mistakes in my code only. So this is the last thing, and we will fix it and end this video for now. But let's of all first fix this. We have from top 10 pixels, I think it should be 20 instead. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, let's just make it 40. Fine. And then this internet guy, where is this guy? From top 100 pixels go become 140. Now it came a bit down, so I'm going to make it 130, 120. Yeah, now it is okay. There is some external things acting on, so what I'm going to do for debugging is I'm going to give them a background color of red, and let us see how they are looking. But I don't get any look of it. Why so? What just happened? I gave a background color, right, to these fonts. I gave a background color, but it is not coming. If I give a background color here of red, it is still not coming. Why so? I think we had to give a width. No, I have given width for each of the elements. But let's try one thing. Giving it a height of, let's say, 100 pixels. Okay, they didn't have any height at all. What is the size of an image we gave them? What is the size of an icon? 50 pixels. So I'm going to make it 50 pixels. Right, that is it. So let's give that a height of 50 pixels. Fine, and now this much is good. Now what I can do again is I did something here. I made this 40, let's make it 10. Now it is absolutely okay. I made this guy, internet guy, 120, let's make it 100. So that is the reason those guys were going up. And now the actual difference is gonna happen here. They have to be reversed. So I think I added something flexend or something different here. So let us just go to cont, just for content space around. That is absolutely okay. I think I should add a flex direction. Row reverse. Let's see what happens. Okay, nothing happened. Row. Oops, what is happening here? Just this one thing and we are good to go, guys. Just let me remove this background first of all. It is looking very ugly. So yeah, fine, I gave it a background right from here and it is also removed now. This text, guys, this text should be before that. Control X. Still it is there. I don't know why it is so. Let me add something here. Here world is coming above it. They are placing themselves in different, some issues with the position properties. We have to check about that. Battery is also coming above it, but hello, this guy is coming a bit differently. So internet, clock, battery, I just gave them a width, nothing else in that. Okay guys, this is the reason. Okay, instead of absolute, let's make it static. Finally guys, now it's good. Now everything is good. We can remove these, and yeah, my job is done for today. So it's your job. You need to practice more. If you want to make any of the changes in the CSS, do it now, because a lot of JavaScript work is left and we are going to cover that in the next episode pretty perfectly. Not like this, many errors we got today, but not like this anymore. We are going to cover everything perfectly fine. So these links you will get in the description down below, don't worry about that. And this is the code for today. You will not get it right now, but you will get it in the last episode. That may be the next one or next to that next, but maximum 2 episodes, that is it. So that is it for this video guys. I'll meet you again in the next episode. Until then, bye guys.